Hello everyone and welcome back to Subnautica. Now, I have finished the Cyclops submarine and the prawn suit and all of the upgrades that I can fabricate for the moment anyway. And it's time to get the endgame started.
Captain, all systems online.
So, the way we get this started, swap the lights, man the helm, and fire up the engines.
Engine powering up.
Like always, switch to the cameras whenever you're trying to drive this tub. So the way that I'm gonna... Basically, I have to get myself down into the depths of the ocean, and there is a limited number of ways to get down there. And whenever I say limited, I mean like there's a number of ways, but there's one right nearby me. So the way for me to do it is to basically get over to the Wreck of the Sea Treader's Path. Now, if you remember from previous episode that I went to the Wreck of the Sea Treader's Path, the way you do that is to position yourself between those two sections of the Wreck of the Sparse Reef here, and then go directly west. I think it's west. And past this little archway over here, and you'll find the Wreck of the Sea Treader's Path. Now, the goal, once I find that wreck, is to just basically pitch it hard to the right and turn north, and then try to find my way into the Blood Kelp Trench. And this is really the hardest part about starting the endgame. The endgame in general in Subnautica, I think, is the weakest component of the game. It's the strongest writing part of the game. Like, we're headed into the... Okay, right, come on. What is this, port side? Or is it starboard? I can never keep port side and starboard right. No, port side is right and starboard is left. I can't keep it I'm not a sailor. Anyways, now that I've done that, just go ahead and continue going north, and I should find the entry into the Blood Kelp Trench. This should be it right up here. So, like I was saying, the Subnautica is basically split into three different sections: the early, the mid, and the late game. Pretty much every game can be split into, the beginning, the middle, and the end. This is the end game. And for this last third, the way the game plays significantly... Oh my word. Okay. I kind of overshot there. Let's reposition the submarine so I don't bottom out on the other side of the trench, and I actually get the whole entire submarine down the trench. Anyways, the first 2/3 of Subnautica is basically you continuing to, well, really just indulge in the open world exploration component that makes the game what it is, and is really the most valuable part of the game. Like, I don't know how many games there were underwater before Subnautica, but it was definitely the first one I ever saw. And I've seen other games around, I've never played them though, that involve you being underwater and having to manage air supply and everything. Alright, we've gotten pretty far down, but now we've got to go further forward. This should be further west, I believe. And then we just continue going down. So, in my opinion, I think that the gameplay really takes an enormous backseat to the story once you hit this last third of the game. Meanwhile, whenever the story, it steps up front and center, if you're really here for story, you're gonna,
Now, scans show a nearby opening, leading to a biome with extensive fossilized remains.
Jeez, extensive fossilized remains. Well, that's where we're trying to head for. Alright, I'm fairly certain that I'm up to the point roughly where I need to start turning this tub around. I probably should have had it the other way around before I brought it down. I should have been facing east, basically towards the base, but I didn't do that. Okay, so, I usually see a landmark, which is a tiny little waterfall down here. You can see these green pools. There's usually a green waterfall. That's my sign to turn the tub around, but what I basically want to do is head the nose of the submarine directly into a patch of, that patch, specifically, of blood kelp. So, just hoping I can actually get this thing turned around without scraping anything. I pride myself on not scraping things as much as possible. And the electric fish down here, they really don't like me being in their in their territory. They're fighting me on the fact that I'm present down here. Which, in all honesty, I mean, that's showing some impressive brass, or some impressive, I don't know, kilovolts in their case, because, man, I am definitely the bigger fish right now. Okay, I'm probably gonna scrape going down, I always do. Yeah, there it is. Scrape. Oh, nope, that was the one I was looking for. All right, and here we go. This skeleton, this skull, is the sign. Now, I want to continue going the direction that it's facing, but before we do that, I want to give this thing a scan. But, in any case, welcome, my friends, to the Lost River. We've only lost 4% of our battery power. That's pretty good. Oh my god, this entire submarine is lopsided. It's nose first, tail up. Jeez. Alright, let's go ahead and hop down. Now, I want to give a warning to anybody who is following along. You don't want to swim into the green that is the Lost River. It will actively hurt you. So, like I said, we want to go the same direction that this skull is facing, but first, I'm going to go ahead and scan it, because story's starting to get thick, and anything that you can scan is really going to help flesh out what's going on this planet. Ancient fossilized skeleton. The skeleton of a million-year-old armored carnivore. Projections suggest this life form would have been larger than any living creature encountered on the planet. The oceans of the time would have been very different to support life forms of this size, with more open geography and many more individuals in the Leviathan range.
Terrain scans indicate this biome contains unusually high concentrations of organic and fossilized remains.
You don't say! I could never imagine. It's not like I scanned a fossil already and there's one immediately in front of... Oh no. Ghost Leviathan! Ghost Leviathans don't scare me as much as Reaper Leviathans. Mostly because I think that Ghost Leviathans in general are... They just seem less... Oh jeez, this guy's getting real pushy. They seem less aggressive. I say that as this guy is just really just mashing the side of my submarine. Oh great, I've got hull damage. Yeah, I kinda know. Submarine. Cyclops dude. I am not getting attacked right now. The Leviathan has decided to back off. Okay, so let's go ahead and position, and I've gotta get outside of this thing, and I have to patch this up before I can get past it. So, all right, that's all of the holes in the hull. Since I'm out, this is dangerous, but I want to get a scan on this skeleton down here. Man, I thought that the Sea Glide had you going fast, and in a moment like this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not moving as fast as I thought. Let's hope that Leviathan can't reach me inside of the mouth of this thing. Gargantuan fossil. The fossilized remains of an extinct super predator. Its sheer size would have prohibited it from entering such an enclosed space, suggesting the geography of the planet has shifted around it over time. A true apex predator. Dated at approximately 3 million years old. Ribcage measurements suggest the creature was eel-like in structure. Calculations suggest this is only the front third of the specimen. The remains now support a vibrant microcosm of life. Note, there are a series of precise angular indentations on the ribcage, suggesting a third party has taken samples from the specimen at a previous time. Okay, thermal vents, and the next skeleton should be right up here, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. Okay, that's the last major skeleton that I'm looking for. This is essentially the first major stopping point, if you will, on your venture down into the depths of the world here on 4546B. So go ahead and park right here. Shut the engine off. 95%, 5% of the power gone. Oh god, there's damage. Yeah, that Leviathan did a number. Oh, it's a Leviathan skeletal remains. Not bad. Okay, so if we go the direction that this is facing, there is a facility I want to find. Sea Dragon Skeleton. The semi-intact skeletal structure of a Leviathan-class predator. 1. Head trauma. There is clear evidence of massive physical trauma to the head. The damage is so severe it was likely the cause of death, and must have occurred somewhere nearby. Damage is consistent with a high-speed collision with a solid object. 2. Age. Something in the environment has helped to preserve these remains, but calcium decay suggests an approximate time of death 1,000 years ago. bone growth suggests the creature was in the egg-laying stage of its life cycle. The first major alien facility outside of the quarantine enforcement platform. This, I don't know what to say. Like, the way that these things are suspended and they have these enormous, what you can only imagine are power
This alien
cables.
structure appears to have collapsed to the sea floor.
Yeah, I can see quite a bit of hull damage to it. I mean, finding these locations is just... Oh, Lord, that's a warper. I hope he doesn't take me out of my freaking suit. Alright, we're almost there. Ow! The minute I said it. Where are you? You're coming for me. I know you are. You will just leave me alone. I hate warpers so much for how they do this. At least he didn't take a chunk out of me this time. Alright, so that's the entrance up there. We'll just get inside of this place. There's so, these research facilities are just so, well, research facilities. This is a research facility. But these facilities in general are just so bizarre. They're fascinating. I remember being just in awe
Detecting
whenever
an alien broadcast. Linguistic analysis reads, caution, hazardous materials and life forms contained within. Interior walls in this section are substantially reinforced, indicating the designers were seeking either to keep something out or contain it within. Whatever their intention, it clearly failed.
I hope coming in here wasn't a bad idea. What do we have?
Integrating new PDA data.
Specimen research data. A catalog of information on the organisms previously contained within the alien facility. A number of the entries have been translated. Small herbivore, Gamma. This entry seems to reference the common peeper, shows no immunity to infection, death commonly occurs within 4 days. Shows symptom remission on exposure to enzyme 42, but symptoms quickly recur. Shows advanced learning behaviors, shows some capacity to transmit enzymes to other specimens. Leviathan embryos. Adult specimen too large to study in containment. Egg specimens acquired for nesting site. Embryos show no sign of immunity. Death commonly occurs within 3 weeks. Small samples of eggs have been retained for continued high-priority research on Leviathan hatching mechanisms. Large carnivore Theta. Off-site lab established to study remains. Shows some potential for immunity to infection, but physical remains so far proved insufficient for full reconstruction. Unidentified Leviathan. This Leviathan species has been assigned designator Sea Emperor. Bone samples from the Emperor specimens indicate some potential for Kara immunity. Single specimen captured for study at purpose-built containment facility, constructed in volcanic region at depth 1.4 kilometers. Assessment. While it is unlikely that the Emperor specimen is still contained within the facility described, it may be possible to acquire further data there on the aliens' attempts to develop a vaccine. Sea Dragon Egg. This large egg is held in a hermetically sealed environment and has been chemically sterilized. Without the means at the facility to house a fully grown sea dragon specimen, it is possible the aliens sought to study instead the egg-laying and incubation process. To what end is unclear. Ribcage samples. A display case containing an array of rib cages harvested from the indigenous life forms. There is a particular focus in this instance of the vertebrate skeleton structures. While some of these skeletons match organisms encountered on the planet so far, most cannot be matched with confidence, suggesting either that there are species out there not yet accounted for, or that they have become extinct since these samples were collected. Ray species on 4546b. Different species of ray indigenous to 4546b, each adapted to different environments. The specimens are 99.99% genetically identical to those encountered on the planet today, suggesting that the rays in particular have undergone little evolutionary mutation in the past millennium. Ghost rays, jelly rays, crimson rays, and rabbit rays likely all share a common evolutionary ancestor. The alpha ray would have evolved deep in the ocean trenches, quickly growing in line with available food supplies. It would have most resembled the ghost ray in size and appearance, with translucent skin for camouflage and forward-mounted eyes for hunting. A fast and fearsome stalker of small creatures in the dark. While some rays have stayed within the limits of the cave systems where they first evolved, others are relatively more recent adaptations to new environments, likely the results of overpopulation. All of the rays on 4546b have given up predation in favor of herbivorous scavenging and use poisonous flesh to protect themselves.
Integrating new PDA data.
Damage report. Leviathan detected at facility perimeter, closing at high speed. Exterior anchor cable impacted with massive force. Exterior anchor system buckling. Facility sinking. Collision with sea floor. Breaches detected in Containment Unit 7, Leviathan eggs. Immediate specimen destruction protocol initiated. 314 specimens destroyed, 1 specimen unaccounted for. Evacuating staff to off-site sanctuaries. Planetary quarantine protocol initiated. Warning: infected individuals may not leave the planet. Remains of research specimen. The skeletal remains of a vast predator housed within an artificial habitat. 1. Habitat. The environment constructed to house the specimen suggests it was kept alive in containment for research purposes for months or even years. Organic matter indicates the habitat once supported extensive plant life, though it has since decayed. When the facility collapsed, this specimen was either left to die or killed on the spot. 2. Evolution. While it shares some of the skeletal traits with the biter and sand shark, including its distinctive double eye sockets, this fossilized specimen is significantly larger and features unusual forearms rarely seen in aquatic specimens. This species has likely gone extinct in the past 1,000 years, and its evolutionary relatives have evolved almost beyond recognition.
Residual biological evidence suggests indigenous life forms were brought to this location and subjected to intensive study.
My word. Is this what warpers are made out of? Holy. Warper parts. The organic parts on display contain DNA from dozens of different organisms, largely originating off-world. They are in varying states of augmentation with advanced technologies. This production line setup suggests these self-warping constructs were built, maintained, and developed by the aliens that designed this facility. Self-warping quarantine enforcer unit. This life form shows signs of heavy genetic modification and extensive mechanical grafting. Its digestive and pulmonary systems have been replaced by an onboard battery, receiving energy directly from the main grid and distributing it around the body. Miniaturized face technology has been implanted beneath the skin and is triggered by the central nervous system, allowing the construct to teleport at will. The brain and central nervous system have been digitally augmented with advanced processing power and remote communications. Assessment: programmable hunter/killer. Avoid.
Data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution: detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised.
Self-scan. Hope it doesn't find anything.
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system. Medical report recorded to data bank. It is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
Now that I think about it, don't feel so good. I haven't for a while now. That's not good. What does the report have to say about me? Bacterial infection report. You have been infected with a previously unknown waterborne bacterium. It is currently multiplying in your bloodstream. Estimated incubation time: 2 weeks. Your immune system is currently combating the infection at low efficacy. You may already be experiencing flu-like symptoms and skin irritation. These will likely be exacerbated as the bacterium takes hold. Your immediate priority should be abatement and eradication of the infection. Recommended steps: salvage further alien research data on a possible vaccine. Investigate the mechanisms which have enabled the indigenous ecosystem to inhibit the symptoms of the infection. Kara Contagion Profile. This terminal contains extensive data regarding the bacterial contagion identified as Kara. Discovery. First encountered during routine network expansion on outer worlds. Pandemic development. Network error resulted in routine quarantine procedure failure. Contagion was uploaded to and spread quickly through the core worlds. Confirmed deaths, 143 billion individuals. Bacterial mechanism. Attaches to healthy living cells and mutates the basic genetic structure. Symptoms. Stage 1. Gradual immune system failure. Stage 2. Green skin lesions and flu-like symptoms. Stage 3. Unpredictable alterations to biological structure. Stage 4. Complete shutdown of executive function. Emergency steps taken. Core worlds quarantined. Bacterial samples distributed to isolated disease research facilities for vaccine development. Treatment procedure? Unknown. Alright, now that I'm all fed, we can actually get into trying to get into the deeper sections of the world now, which begins with actually going down into the river that makes the Lost River what it is. There must be one around here somewhere. Ooh, I think that this is it. Yeah, sure enough, this is nickel. Okay, so nickel is the primary material that you need to find whenever you reach the Lost River. You can find others, but this is the primary type of ore that you're going to find. I need about 11 pieces. Once I get them, then it's back to the Cyclops submarine, which does not have the capacity to go any further. I think its limit is about 900 meters. So now that I have the nickel, what I can do is I can come over here to the modification station and I can make a Mark II Cyclops depth module, which would be fine, but if I take the depth module out of the Cyclops, it'll just turn the hull into a tin can that'll just crush. So what I have to do is take this extra depth module that I fabricated before coming down, take the plasteel and the nickel, and then upgrade it to a Mark II module. Once that's been made, I can plug that by just dragging and dropping at the upgrade console, and then take the other Mark I upgrade and upgrade it to a Mark II, because it's going to be turned into a Mark III eventually. But I'm not done either. I need to make a prawn suit depth module, which can only be made inside of a moon pool. So I gotta construct. I have to construct one of those. Then I have to power it, probably with a thermal plant from one of the vents around here, and then put the upgrade console inside of the prawn bay to basically make one single depth module, plug that into the prawn suit, then deconstruct the entire base so that I can helm the Cyclops back further into the depths. Okay, well, that was a lot of work. That was more work than I wanted to do, but now that what I have to do is go further. We need to go deep. We need to go deeper. We must go deeper. So you go in the opposite direction of the skeleton, the opposite direction that the skeleton is facing, towards this nice glowing blue-purple tree. Okay, and it's more or less at this point that like trying to find your way around stops being an issue, because most of the track is pretty linear. Like I said earlier, the game becomes the last third of Subnautica becomes very linear, and there's less open worldness to it. I realized I want to be on the right side of this tree, not necessarily because it's a better or worse way to navigate this cove or this area. It's mostly just the fact that I hope I don't damage one of these rays. Don't get close to me. Don't get close to me. I didn't want that to happen. Anyways, I really like this area here. I like this tree. I like how the Lost River basically turns blue instead of green. It's just more inviting because of the color. Just watch, I'd go to the rainforest and I'd immediately just die because I'd see, oh, something cute and blue, and I'd touch it and it turns out it's super poisonous. Anyways, I want to basically continue going in the direction that the Cyclops is facing because, again, it's a linear path. It's not difficult. But I also want to scan this tree and get the information about it because I love this thing.
Giant Cove Tree. A vast tree encountered in a deep cove, and the only one of its kind encountered on the planet. The tree is surrounded by rays grazing on its pink outer leaves. 1. Bark. A hardy, fast-growing bark covers the outside of the tree. Minuscule organisms inhabit the notches on its surface. 2. Ghost Leviathan eggs. The tree's branches are wrapped around a number of maturing eggs, belonging to the species designated Ghost Leviathan. The tree appears to be an ancient nesting ground. The eggs were laid when the tree was young, and now the branches protect and grow with them as they await the right conditions to hatch.
All right, well, I've entered what I like to call the active lava zone, and I've just finished that dark tunnel back there was the inactive lava zone. Technically, it's all called the inactive lava zone, but I like to be... I don't know. I like to call it the... I like to differentiate between the tunnel and everything.
Powering down.
All right, we're down 19% of power. Go ahead and swap the lights here. My main goal is to get into the next alien facility, which is basically directly ahead of the submarine. But before I do that, I want to fabricate a couple of upgrades. And those upgrades basically start with finding kyanite. Kyanite is a blue, heat-resistant crystal that is down here in the depths. There are additional upgrades that I want to create by after I find sulfur, crystalline sulfur specifically, not the same thing as like the sulfur, cave sulfur powder that you find up in the shallows. All right, so this is kyanite. I need like, I don't know, 10 or 11 pieces of this. And I'll go ahead and collect all of this up, and then it's a matter of getting back inside of the Cyclops. Jeez, that's a lot of heat leeches. Yeah, so heat leeches are a problem this far once you reach the lava zone. And this is the main reason. Golly, they've taken a lot of power off of my, my batteries. So I turn on the shield, and it took away 4% of my power just turning that thing on for as short as I did. But turning on the shield did actually remove all of the heat leeches. That's the reason why I have it on the sub. So, the first things first, I've got the kyanite, I've also got polyaniline, and I've got a wiring kit on me. I brought the polyaniline and the wiring kit with me. And with those, I can make a thermal reactor mod for the Cyclops. And the main reason I want this is because now that I'm down into the lava zones, the thermal reactor mod basically means I no longer have to worry about the batteries going empty on the Cyclops. If you watch here, 826, 828. So the energy's going up. It's not going up super fast, and I still have to deal with heat leeches. The other thing that I have to do is make a couple of different purple tablets, because I'm going to need those whenever going into the facility that's here. I also have to reconstruct my base. That means moon pool and thermal power.
All primary systems online.
I did not expect this place to have a compromised hull immediately. Make some fortifications and whatnot, and then put the console into this place. And 2 more polyaniline, a wiring kit, and the kyanite makes me a thermal reactor mod for the prawn suit. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, now that I'm all upgraded, luckily I don't have to strip this base down again. This moon pool base stays where it is. I don't have to take it back up again. Strictly speaking, I didn't have to take up the moon pool base from the Lost River. I could have just left it where it was and built an entirely separate one here. But, you know, I don't want to have to go searching for that many materials. So, what I'm looking to get inside of now is known as the Lava Castle. I don't think they ever refer to it as the Lava Castle in any of the documentation inside the game, like any of the logs, any of the descriptions. This is never called the Lava Castle. I think it's strictly a game file thing, and if you look into wikis and whatnot. So, should be immediately for me. Oh, buzz off. These fish love fighting. Oh look, this is a fantastic sight to see. Yeah, there's the lava castle right behind it. This is a Reaper Leviathan skull. I can't, like, that doesn't spell anything good.
Reaper Leviathan skeleton. Reapers are ill-suited to high-temperature environments, suggesting this creature was forced down to this active lava zone by conditions outside its control. Trace muscle tissues remain on the bones, indicating the specimen died in recent months. Burns and other physical damage to the skeletal structure. Likely became prey for something bigger.
No, it's very close. Nope, 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 nope. Not messing with that. Running away right now. I do not want to bother with it. Ooh, the dragon. Dragon Leviathans can utterly decimate any piece of equipment that you have. Come on. I'm stuck on the... There are 2 different gates to get inside of this lava castle, and I can never find them effectively. That Dragon Leviathan was the reason that the disease research facility was destroyed. Same species.
The volcanic rock, which has formed in this area, can be carbon dated to between 800 and 3,000 Earth years ago.
Definitely an old area that I'm in. Okay, guys, so I was tussling with that dragon, and he got a hold of me, and he flung me straight through the world. I went straight inside of the lava castle by clipping through the terrain. I did not intend for that to happen, but this is basically the entrance on the right side from where that Reaper Leviathan skull was. So it gives you an idea of where I'm at. And this is the other supply or resource that I was looking for.
Crystalline sulfur. Sulfur is a highly reactive non-metallic element usually found in abundance underground. Common applications include production of acidic compounds and combustibles. Assessment: essential for advanced fabrication.
Right, it looks like this facility hasn't been struck and sent to the seafloor. It may be down in Davy Jones' locker or the briny depths or however you want to phrase it, but it is most certainly not sitting on the seafloor. I don't think it would survive if it was sitting in that pool of lava underneath it either. Let's hope that a warper doesn't take me out of my freaking suit whenever I'm in the middle of jump here. Oh, okay, good. It didn't happen. If this prawn suit were to fall into lava, it would basically bust instantaneously. Alright, we've got another alien facility. What on earth are you? An alien robot. Look at those cute little antennae. Ow! Oh my... Buzz off! How dare you! I just called you cute, and the first thing you do is you try to... Oh, maybe that's just it. It doesn't like being called cute. Okay, what does the log entry on that thing say?
Alien robot. This device is of alien origin, although its design is relatively simple. 1. Purpose. Its low threat level is at odds with the advanced technology apparently available to its designers, suggesting it was intended more to patrol alien facilities and repair damaged infrastructure than to deter invaders. 2. Design. Despite its simple design, this construction is quite elegant in its minimalism. 4 electromagnetic legs allow it to traverse floors, walls, and ceilings with reasonable speed, and appear to be replaceable. Internally, there are few moving parts, rendering this construct energy efficient and resistant to wear over time. A rechargeable ion-based power reserve ensures it continues to operate. Assessment: immobilize and return to Altera for mutual profit. Blue tablet. Smooth and cold, with a blue light which illuminates an alien symbol resembling an uppercase H. While it is likely these devices served in part as security clearance for whoever constructed them, their size suggests some additional purpose, such as personal computers. Whatever the case, the technology is far beyond humanity's own.
Come here to me.
Okay, so the hallucinations appear to be getting worse, as Bart Tortle called them, but I'm starting to suspect that those aren't hallucinations, and there's more going on. Well, that's electricity if I've ever seen it.
Integrating new PDA data.
Fossil data. Fossil data recorded from the volcanic rock that was excavated to construct the alien power facility. It has been possible to extrapolate a number of key trends. Genetic divergence. The aliens recorded data on indigenous organic remains originating between 10,000 and 1,000 years ago. The life forms on record feature an unusually low overlap with those encountered on 4546b. Extinction event. Soil samples from 1,000 years ago contain 300% higher concentrations of organic remains than the soil average. Data supports a mass extinction event, killing off a majority of species and forcing rapid adaptation amongst many of the survivors. Alien Thermal Plant. This system is directly converting local thermal energy into electric current at 90% efficiency. Most of this energy is being stored in the battery-like devices within the plant itself, each of which holds enough to power a small city for a year. Some of it, however, is being drained off, presumably as it is distributed to other facilities on the planet. The power plant appears to be fully automated and, given current understanding of the mechanisms involved, uninterruptible.
Integrating new PDA data. Primary alien facility location updated. Volcanic area connected to this cave system at depth 1.4 kilometers.
Primary Containment Facility. A power router from the thermal plant is distributing energy collected on-site to other facilities on the planet. Primary Containment Facility location updated. Constructed within a natural chasm. Connected to this cave network. South-southeast. Area of volcanic activity. Depth 1.4 kilometers. Power distribution. Self-warping quarantine enforcement units 5%. Arch network 10%. Sanctuaries Alpha, Beta, Kappa 10%. Quarantine enforcement platform 35%. Disease research facility offline. Primary containment facility 20%. Reserve 20%. There is no clear way to interrupt the power flow.
Integrating new PDA data. Synthesizing ion power blueprints from alien data. Blueprints stored to databank.
Ion power data. It has been possible to extract useful information regarding the alien ion power. Ion cubes are grown artificially from a mineral substance and are treated to remain in a stable state despite the huge ionic energy contained within. By installing an ion cube in an appropriate device, this energy can be released as electrical power. Using this knowledge, it has been possible to synthesize new battery and power cell blueprints which leverage advanced ionic energy to last considerably longer.
What on... Ion cube. Alright, I'll give you... Just gobbled it up there. My word, is this a warp gate? Certainly looks like one. I'll just go ahead and slightly... Okay. Jeez. It just pulled me right in. Where am I? This looks familiar. It's... No. Oh my word. It's the quarantine enforcement platform. I recognize this gun. No wonder the aliens had fast travel around the planet. That's incredibly convenient. Being topside isn't really going to help me, though. The mystery is not going to solve itself if I hang around up here, so... I gotta go back through the portal. Find out what exactly is going on down there.